Hello and welcome to the Alteisa interviews for this year. We are very happy to be talking to Camille. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Did I say it right? Camille?
Camille, yeah,
Camille.
but Camille is
Okay.
cool too.
What about the last name?
Bigeault.
Bigeault. Okay. Is that very common French name or
No,
no?
but it
Not so.
sounds very French.
It sounds very French.
Yeah.
It does. So we are very happy to have you here. Tell us about because it hasn't happened yet. This is before the performance.
Yeah.
So are you excited, nervous? How do you feel?
Yeah, very excited about that. It's been 6 months I haven't performed on stage.
Right.
And last time was the Zaragoza festival, so it was in Spain also.
Nice.
I'm really visiting Spain those months. It's very cool.
Do you like it here?
Yeah, I really like it here. Yeah.
What's the thing that you like the most?
I don't know. I like the weather, the landscapes, how the buildings are. It's really cozy. I really like it.
Yeah, I guess Zamora and Zaragoza are very representing of what Spain is, kind of.
Yeah.
I want to talk about how you fell in love with the drums.
Yeah. Okay. I fell in love with the drums. Actually, the first time I played drums was I was 12. It was at the music class in the it's not college. It's sixth grade maybe.
Yeah,
sixth grade.
Here at that age would be like between high school and the school.
Yeah.
But in France, you go to the lycée a bit earlier. Is that?
No, lycée it's high school and college is just before. So I think sixth grade is the right word.
Yeah, it will be a school here.
Okay. So I was in school at 12 and there was the music class and there was a kit actually.
Nice.
And the music teacher asked us if anyone wanted to try the drums just to play tum-ta, tum-ta, tum-ta over a song that everyone was singing for the music performance at the end of the year. So I was like, okay, why not? And I discovered like, oh, it's really great. But I had already rhythm facilities because my mother is a percussionist. But it's really percussion with the hands. It's not drum kits. It's percussions. So yeah, I discovered it then. But I really fell in love, I think, when I was more like 14, 15 years old, really in the teenage years. When I was listening to a lot of rock music, like the first Placebo albums, first Muse albums, Coldplay albums. And I watched this DVD, Soulmates Never Die, from Placebo. And there I fell in love with all the energy on the drums, and the drummer back then, Steve Hewitt, was really into it with focused, and I was like, wow, that's what I want to do with my life. So from then I really started to play like 2 hours. It's not much, but back then with the house we had and the neighbors and the acoustic kit, it was really enough for the neighbors. But yeah, I really started to play really focused, and I knew I wanted to do that with my life. So it was really the real start of it. Just before, I just enjoyed playing it, and I was self-taught. But it wasn't really a goal to be a drummer for my life. So it was at 14, around that.
Yeah, same with me. That was the turning point.
Same
age. But of course, that like Coldplay, that kind of music is quite different from what you're going to perform today.
Yeah, yeah. Now I'm more into prog rock or prog metal music. So it's more this kind of thing I'm gonna perform, I guess.
But do you still listen to Coldplay?
Yeah, not that much the new albums. I don't really know them, but I still appreciate very much the old albums, and same for Muse or Placebo.
At the end of the day, that's what inspired you to do what you do.
Yeah.
So today you're performing for the first time, something that you're playing and also singing.
Yeah.
So talk to me about that.
I have 2 songs I'm going to play for the first time. The first song I don't sing, but it's a kind of very cool drum parts all around an ostinato of 5/7 played with the guitar.
Nice.
So it's very fun to play. And the singing song is it's the first time actually I'm gonna play it on stage, just as a solo artist playing drums and singing. One of my song is the first time, but I already sung backing vocals in projects, really. Let me think. In very recent projects, I already did backing vocals, so I already feels what it's like. But to sing my own song is another thing. So I'm very excited about it, and to
also nervous.
Not that much, because it's really important to me to. It was also a meaning to bring some sweetness and some things felt from the heart in the middle of all the run for the race for the speed and technique on the drums, to bring some okay, just listen and just appreciate, and to sing. Really important also to me, because it feels great to sing, and you can also deliver messages through the lyrics and the voice. So it will not be performing drum song like a lot of notes everywhere and stuff, but more like something that the people can relate to, and that can make them travel and think, not only being impressed. Yeah, not only being impressed with the drums things and stuff, but just being impacted with the heart from a song. So we'll see where it goes.
I wanted to ask you about that. In for music performances, we usually think about an arc or a shape. So we probably have some impactful songs at the beginning, then it goes down, and then at the end it goes more impactful. At the
classic.
End. Do you plan your performance today the same way?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. It's only 4 songs, but I will do some solo drumming also between the songs. But yeah, it's more this kind of shape where we go down and then we go up again.
Nice. I wanted to talk about the preparation that you've done for these kind of shows, these clinics. How do you prepare them?
Actually, when it's filmed, or when it's important not to to do too many mistakes.
Okay. You can swear, by the way. I don't mind. You can swear if you want.
Yeah. But it's important to me to really know the drum parts I'm going to play. I really love improvising also, but it's difficult in this kind of situation, because it's more easy. It's easier to improvise and let go when you know it's gonna be okay. It's not filmed. It's not important to be really not doing mistakes. And it's also a brain thing. When you know it's gonna be filmed or something like this, there's some things happening in the brain that makes you maybe less focused on the music, and less letting go stuff. And the more you let go, the better you play. So it's important for me to know what drum parts I'm gonna play and not let too much place for improvisation when it's filmed, because I know my head is gonna, like, it's gonna be a switch,
right?
And like my comment c'est quoi le nom?
I wish I could help you. I used to know French.
Yeah.
No anymore.
It's like your head, it's too full up everything you have to think about, and it's different sound. It's a different, it's different kit, and you don't have to mess your performance because it's film, and then it's easier for me to really know the drum parts by heart, because it's enable more room space for me. But I also like improvisation. So I really play the songs like by heart. I know the drum parts. And I just rehearsal and rehearsal to be able to just think about the music and the intention without asking myself, okay, what's going to be the next drum part? And it's important to repeat the songs enough to build the muscle memory and everything, so it can be smooth and you can not have to think about many things, just focus on the music and stuff. So a lot of repeating the song over and over.
So you mentioned that letting go of what is not important is important.
Yeah, it's important, but I think it requires really a lot of experiences like this to be more trusting and to know more like our capacities ourselves, to be able to just let go. I don't have to know my drum parts by heart. I can just myself and let the improvisation, and I know what it feels to be filmed and to be performing in this kind of conditions, because I have a lot of experience like this. So it's okay. I can let go, but I feel like I still have to go through some performances like this before I can just let myself go. And I can't wait to be at this stage, because it's really important. The more you let go, the more you trust things and trust yourself, the more you can be musical, actually more true to what you can bring on stage and on the drums.
So talking now again about the fact that you can sing and write music and also play, how does singing, to begin with, help your drumming, if it does?
I didn't understand the question well.
So how does singing help your drumming? How does it
helps me drumming? It's another focus, because I'm playing the two at the same time, and it's important to me to really feel the song through the voice. So I think I'm more focused on the voice, and the drumming part is more like in the background, and it's important. It's on rhythm, of course. It's really on time, not too rushing, because I have the tendency of rushing when I sing. But so I really focused on keeping laid back and just keeping those drum parts on time, and I can try to bring attention to them if it's okay with the voice. But it's I won't focus on the drums as I focus on the voice, and it will be less technique, I guess. And when it comes to technique, parts, because I will do that also in the song, I just remove the microphone and focus on the technical parts. But yeah, it's not the same place as if I just play drums. I really have to focus on the voice and being on tune and this kind of things.
I understand that it's difficult, but you also write your own music. So when doing that, how does that help your drumming? To be able to write your own music?
Oh, yeah, okay. I can choose everything. So I can choose the drum parts, and I can choose to highlight drum parts like I found while jamming in the studio, and that drum part sounds good, so I can maybe save it for later or save it for a song, and I can really write songs about specific drum parts. So yeah, it's about really expressing ourselves maybe more deeply than just playing covers. It's really choosing what you want to highlight and what you want to play to bring the people in your journey. So yeah, it's more personal, and I really love it.
Is it drum part first and then the rest of the music, or how is your writing process?
It depends. It depends on the songs. Mostly when I write songs for drums, really to highlight drums, it will begin with the drum parts. But for the singing song, for example, I started with the melody, the singing melody, and then all the song with the harmonies and stuff. And the drum part came last. It was not to highlight really the drums, so it's more to sustain the song and to serve the song, and not to serve the drum part.
Right. But you also are able to play really well, like very crazy polyrhythms. How do you keep those musical?
I'm gonna play a song I wrote from Polyrhythms. So it's really starting from the Polyrhythms first. And so it has to be musical in some kind of way to be able to, write a bass part out of the polyrhythm, following maybe the feet, write a melody following the tom melody, for example, and maybe the snare accents will make us think about guitar like accents and phrases. So I think it's really interesting to use polyrhythms to create original songs. It really fits well the music. So I think it's a musical thing from the beginning. It's not. I don't see it as a technical thing or performance just to show, hey, I can play several parts that doesn't have the same length at the same time. It's not that. It's really to bring parts that are maybe at first separate, bring them together and create a whole drum song and treble drum song. And it's meant to be musical at first. So it's kind of easy to bring some real music on it afterwards, and to make a whole prog rock composition song.
3/2 is really musical. So
it can be, and it depends on how you play it, on the accents, on the dynamics you can play with the phrases. It's not mechanical, So it's meant, everything you play on the drums is meant to be musical. at first. It's like it can be a real melodic instrument also, not only rhythmical. It can really be both. The only thing I think is not possible is to play harmonics with the drums, because it's not really, you can not play chords with the right. drums.
Yes, we don't want to. We are already working very hard, so let's give that to the guitarists. Talking about music, you also play in pop and funk bands.
Yeah,
is that correct?
Mm.
So I believe that there you don't have that many polyrhythms. Is that right?
Not many.
Not that many polyrhythms as you have in your own music.
No. But you can use polyrhythms also in pop or funk songs. Just for example, to play on the ride or on the hi-hat, play different phrases with your right hand while you keeping a straight groove. Just play other phrases, and it's just on top, so it's not impacting the bass and the song. It's just something that brings tension and brings other things. So you can play polyrhythms and apply them in your 4/4 playing, But of course, I won't do a whole polymeter piece in the bands like this, because it's not an adequate situation for that.
But how does studying and practicing all the hard stuff help you play the easy?
Yeah, because it's knowing how to play the hard stuff, and especially working with time, because it's playing different group of notes at the same time. So it's really about the subdivision and the time, and practicing this kind of thing can really make you more, give you more strength relative to how you perceive the time and how you play around it. So when you come back to playing some really straight groove, you have all the room space you built with practicing this kind of thing that is new and that is here, and you have it's like you have more perspective over everything. So it makes all this kind of pop and rock grooves easier to play, and you can focus on other things also, so you can be more precise and more musical.
I understand. I agree. I was given a metaphor for that. Like if you study that stuff, it's like driving.
Yeah.
But if you've got more light, then you're more relaxed when you're driving. You're still driving the same road.
Yeah.
But because you see more, it feels easier.
Yeah, that's a very good.
But you still
metaphor.
gain from point A to point B. So
yeah, exactly.
What would you say to someone that is probably doubting whether to study this stuff? If they feel that it might not be useful in a business kind of way.
They have it's okay really to think that, because I think to study one thing, actually you have to, it has to talk to you in one way. So I think we can do well also without it, but it's for sure, I know it from my experience, but it's for sure, if you know how to play this kind of thing and you practice it and you explore it, it will really gives you, as you said, more light. It's a fact that I experimented. So, but I think it's okay also not to go through this special path and to still be okay playing this kind of thing. And there's so many other things we can do and practice on the drums that gives you more headroom anyway. So I would say that to them, it's a shame because you're missing some funny things and really building more lights and headroom, and that would be really useful. And even in the drum, no, the music style. Sorry, I listen to. I think it's really useful to know how to play this kind of thing and to practice and explore them in like prog rock or prog metal or even metal. It's really useful. Like we can really find this kind of things everywhere in many drummers play and techniques and drum parts, in this kind of music style. So doing without it may be difficult in this music area. I'm talking about that. But if it's just rock or pop or funk, yeah, you don't really need all these kind of things. You can do well also. So it's really a personal thing, and you should at least do what inspires you at the first place. You should never force you to practice any kind of thing you're not appealed to, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's important. I've walked a bit I've gone through the Gavin Harrison's books and all that. For me, I'm grateful for the challenge.
Yeah.
And everything that is challenging, and then you overcome it. And
You're right.
It's quite pleasing.
Challenging also.
Regardless if you're going to use it and earn money through that.
Yeah.
Every challenge, I mean, we also have to think about ourselves and if it makes us happy.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. The challenging part is very important. And when I first came into polymeters and the exploration of all this, the first one I played actually, I really didn't know what it was going to sound like playing a tom melody in 11 and a foot melody in 6 or 12. What it's going to sound like, I have no idea. And it was very appealing and challenging and exciting for me to discover it while practicing and while working this particular thing. And when you manage to do it the first time without mistakes and looping it, and you discover the song the both parts makes together, it's really exciting, and wow, it sounds great. And a lot of things are happening in this 6 or 5 measures of space, So it was also what appealed me to do that. And you're right; it's the challenge and the excitement of discovering one new thing.
And we should not forget about that. At the end of the day, it's a journey. Learning drums is a journey. So if it's downhill the whole time, then it's not fun.
Yeah, exactly.
I wanted to bring it back and ask you, when you started playing drums at school, you probably didn't envision becoming a professional drummer, if that is a thing. But then you went hard into it. But at some point, did you envision being a clinician? Is that something that you thought about to begin with?
Not at first. Maybe when I was like 20 or more, but in my teenage years, I just wanted to be in a band and play shows. That's all. I didn't even ever know that being a clinician or performances alone on a stage existed. I didn't know that. So it came after. Yeah.
But how does one go from just being a drummer to being a clinician?
I think it really happened by chance for me. Like I discovered this polyrhythms things, and I posted this first polymeter video on the social medias in 2016, and it went all viral, kind of, because it really helped me to start my career, and I was kind of known for that in the drum field. So from then, it really meant something to explain how I did the polymeter stuff and how I perceived it and how I work it, and all the pedagogical approach became important then, because that there was something to do really with all of this. So it really was something I didn't plan, so it was really natural. And okay, so we have this, I have fun with this, it works, it maybe is interesting for other people, I can share like a knowledge after several years of really digging it. So I can maybe share now what I can share with all the experience I have with it, and be a clinician or play master classes, or So it really came natural and no plans.
What did you enjoy the most, though? Playing with a band or playing by yourself today?
Both. It's really not the same thing. Playing with the band, you really focus on the music, the energy, and it's really, really cool. And I'm really grateful for that. To like being a band and playing with each other for an audience, it really feels great. And the focus is not all on yourself also. So it's maybe easier for some aspects. But the sharing what you know and what you experienced, and what can be useful maybe to people, and sharing your own songs as a solo artist is also grateful. It's maybe more complicated because all the focus is on you, and you have to care about many things, and to bring the best performance possible. And so you have your room full of a lot of things compared to when you're in the band and you just play your part and just in the back and just enjoying the show. But it's another level, and it's another thing you want to share. So, and it's more personal also. So maybe it's something more rewarding. And it's like when you have your own band, it should be rewarding also to play your own songs with your own band. It's another thing. I would like to develop that, by the way. But yeah, being in solo on stage, it can be intimidating sometimes, and you really want the best. So you can really fill your mantle with a lot of things that can make you miss some things, and not being at the best you want.
Also, the audience is quite different.
Yeah. Audience of only drummers, almost, and audience of musicians. Yeah, it's not the same audience.
Would you rather play for 100 drummers or 100,000 people? What makes you more nervous?
I think 100,000 people. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
How so?
Because I think diversity is important also. It's not only about the drums. So it's really cool when the audience is full of different people that enjoy different musics and different aspects of the music. They won't only focus on the drums and the drum parts, and they will allow also themselves to receive the music from different aspects and different parts, and it will make them, I think, more full when they go out of the venue. So I think it will be more rewarding to just only drummers. I guess.
What about yourself? What situation would make you more nervous or more like, I don't know,
Nervous?
what would be more intimidating?
I think it's the situation when it's a lot of drummers, a lot of drummers, and only drummers, and alone on stage. Maybe it's the more nervous, and especially, I don't know why, but I think I'm not alone in this. But when it's a recorded performance, like audio and video, and especially video, it's really intimidating because, as I said earlier, it can be like crowded of 1,000 drummers, but no recording. It's okay because I will feel in the present moment. Whatever happens is okay, and I just want to share, and I'm excited to play because I don't have to think to be perfect for the video or the audio record. So dès que I'm thinking about a word, it will be cut, of course. As soon as there's a device recording, it's changing something in the mind, and you're not focused on the same thing, and you're not as into the music as you can be without any recording, because it's kind of thing you have to be perfect, and when you're a perfectionist like me, it's difficult to like, okay, video, audio, no problem, it will be well. It really triggers something in my head, and I'm not playing the same thing the same way I would play without a device recording. So it's also a matter of experience. The more you do, the easier it begins, and the more okay you are with that, and you can let go. But yeah, I still have this kind of thing, maybe. So yeah, this situation, like only drummers and recording devices, is maybe the more stressful for me.
Right, I get you. I'd rather play a music show where no one is recording. That I'm way more nervous doing this.
Yeah.
The camera is on us. It's like everything I say and do, I feel like everyone is watching me.
Yeah. And you're not focusing on the music.
Right. Exactly. I wanted to ask you about what's happening in France in terms of music. So I wanted you to tell me about the scene there. Because I'm very curious to know about what everyone's scene is like.
In France, we have a mainstream scene with all the radios and the artists that are broadcast on radio. It's very, very pop and rap, R&B. A lot of rap. I think I don't really listen to the radio, but I know that there's a lot of French pop artists, and I feel like it's more about the lyrics and the words that are used than the music. I think the music in French pop mainstream music is not that great. I don't really like it. I prefer music like rock or prog metal, and when it's really meant to bring the listener to a journey with a lot of harmonic changes and really interesting riffs and drum parts and stuff. And we don't have that but I think it's really global. All mainstream music, pop music, it can appear like not boring, but just it don't inspire us as much as the music we listen to as prog rock drummers, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's very pop. There's a lot of sequences. I feel it's less and less organic music. It's very electro pop. A lot of things on computer.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really like it either. But it's not like in the mainstream music in America, or like Sia, Beyonce. I really love this kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't have this kind of music in France. It's more like da 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 da. It's not very groovy. It's very focused on the words, and the French singers. I don't really like the pop French singers because I don't think they have an interesting voice. It's
Right.
not musical voice. It's really as I said, focused on the words more than the voice and the music, the timbre. The voice instrument in itself. It's not very how to say. It's not beautiful voices like Pink or Sia or Beyonce. It's not this kind of voice. It's more like da 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 voice. No, it's not my thing.
Right.
But there's a lot of not mainstream, the contrary of mainstream stages with super cool rock and prog rock bands in France. But it stays a small world. It's not mainstream. So, but we have this kind of stages also in France. So it's cool.
What about business wise? Is it how do you make a living in France doing music?
In France, we have a very cool, and we are lucky to be in France for that. Very cool system that when you do enough gigs that are officially paid, because it's not obvious to find officially paid gigs. Sometimes often the employers in France, they are not really employers, but they just ask you to come perform a gig, and it's not an official like paper business. It's more like, okay, take the money, and so it's not a official paid gig, but you have to find like 43 official paid gigs, and then you can have a help from the government for 1 year. Then when you are not working, you can have this help from the government. So it's really, really cool to help us just doing music and not having to take a job aside of playing music. So we are really lucky to have that. And when you are in this system enough, you know how it works, and enough productions and artists you can have officially paid gigs with. It's really okay. You can just roll on. You don't have to think of, okay, how am I gonna make this 43 gigs this year, because I really don't have enough productions. So it can be tough at first, because the help lasts 1 year, and you have to renew your 43 gigs, officially paid gigs, and then it's coming again for another year. So it's each year you have to find your officially paid gigs. But when you found good plans, and you don't have to look for this kind of gigs, it's really perfect, because you can just focus on your music, do your gigs, and be helped by the government. So you really can make a living of music in France, and we are lucky for that. In Belgium, I think they have the same kind of government help, but in the other countries, like during the COVID, I don't know how they did to carry on focusing on the music. They had to take another jobs to just to earn a living. And in France, we are really lucky because the government continues to help us during the COVID crisis. So we are really, really well in France for that. We can make a living great. As a musician, focus only on music. That's cool.
We were very lucky to have this festival. This was the only one in 2020 that had a drum fest here. It was only Spanish drummers, but it was great.
Okay,
because a lot of people joined in from the YouTube stream. Yeah, it was great to have it.
And this year, how many years has been the festival going? Just before this year?
Since 2017, 2016.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Something like that.
So it's been 5-6 years you have this festival. Okay.
Yeah, and it's been great.
Cool.
So, yeah, but that's not, it didn't pay me anything.
Yeah.
In terms of like to have a drum fest. But yeah, that was the only positive in the drum industry in 2020.
Yeah. It's a light in the middle of the dark, like drum festival, so exciting.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. So I wanted to ask you, you're presenting a new method as well, is that right? Are you presenting like a new method?
It's not released yet, but it will be released in early December, I hope. If everything goes right, like late November, early December, it will be released.
Is it a book on DVD, or how are you planning?
It's a book. It will be in French and in English. It's two separate books. In English, it's distributed by Hudson Music, so we can buy it on their website. But there also is the PDF version. If you don't want a book, just a PDF on your computer, you can buy the PDF version instead of the book. Mm-hmm. And it's no DVD. It's only a package you have to download with a QR code when you have the book. And you can have all the audio versions of the transcriptions that you can find in the book. You can have other transcriptions that are not in the book. So all the additional content can be found with the QR code just to download.
Great. And what is it about? Can you tell me about the content?
It's about polyrhythms.
Nice.
Wow. Polyrhythms, polymeters, but also how to work with like different groupings, with subdivisions, with ostinatos, with different possibilities of working with the click, and everything that is kind of derived. No. Coming from this base, this polyrhythms and polymeter base.
Nice.
You can really have other cool stuff to dig into, and
I'm looking forward to having it in my hands. I haven't studied polyrhythms in a while, so maybe it's an excuse to come back to it.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you to wrap up the conversation for a challenge.
Yeah.
It can be easy, it can be complex, it can be how you like it. For everyone listening, just tell them to do something, because I feel that a lot of people just talk about something, but I need people to be encouraged to do something. So if you had to ask them to do one thing, it can be about drums, about anything.
So they have to do it like right now when I do it. When
you have to do it.
Tell it. Okay. Let me think.
I'm sorry I didn't prep you for this. So
yeah, okay. Okay. So you're gonna take a click.
Okay.
And put it at 80.
Nice.
BPM. No, 60 BPM. And then you're gonna just do single strokes like da 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 da.
I already don't like it.
Da 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 da. But the click doesn't have to be on the accent you play. It's not da 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 da. It will be on the second stroke you play. So da 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 da. But you have still to accentuate the first stroke. Da 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 da. And you have to hear the click on the second stroke of your group of 4 and accentuate the first. That's the challenge.
That's a fun challenge.
And if you can do it, if it's too easy, you just grab something to eat with your weak hand. You eat it, and in the meantime, with your strong hand, you do it and while eating. That's my challenge.
And singing.
And singing.
And playing guitar.
Singing.
That's a fun challenge. Thank you for that. So, and also
You're
thank you
welcome.
for the conversation. It was great. We are very lucky to have you.
Very great.
I'm very looking forward to your performance, to see you sing.
Thanks. It was a pleasure.
And
Thank
to
you.
see you play. So thanks for everyone listening.
Thanks.
That's it.
Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure.